So I've actually entitled today's Kicking Porn Out of the Church. And the reason I've entitled to that is because it actually is in the church. And so there's not this white elephant that we're going to pretend isn't there. And there's 4 things I'm going to really want to accomplish today with you. The first one is just identifying the problem that really does exist within the church. And the second thing would be giving you an idea of what is the root cause. What causes people within your congregation to be drawn to pornography or lust or other things? And so we're going to identify that and equip you with that. But then if we just stop there and says there's a problem and here's what's causing the problem, but didn't give you a solution, then that would be a problem. So we actually have even a turnkey solution for the church today. Our ministry does, and we're going to present that to you and show you how that you can step alongside, or actually we can step alongside of you and provide you with a solution. And then I just wanted to touch on this because often what happens is if one spouse is addicted to porn, it doesn't just affect them. It affects the spouse as well. And so you'll be doing counseling to a spouse, and it affects families and the church as a whole. So I didn't want to leave that out. So we're gonna highlight that at the very end of that. I said the statistics were outdated and they weren't relevant for today. So we actually hired the Barna Group to go and do a nationwide survey on our behalf to get current statistics on pornography use, addiction, and even things like affairs, and just how big of a problem is it in the church. So we just got back the results from the Barna Group, and so we're going to present some of those statistics to you just to help you understand how big of a problem it really is. 77%, that's more than 3/4 of the Christian men. Now, this was a study of Christian men, not just men in general, but these are self-identified Christian men. 3/4 of your people in your pews that are aged 18 to 30 will have admitted to us that they look at pornography at least once a month. That's 3/4. Okay? How about 65% of all Christian men of all age groups, adult Christian men, have looked at porn while at work within the past 3 months? At work. Okay? You're risking their jobs, by looking at porn at work. Okay? How about 55% of married men? These are all Christians. Christian married men are still looking at porn on a monthly basis. 37% of all Christian men across all age groups, adult Christian men, look at porn not just once a month, but several times a week. That's more than 1/3 of your congregation, okay? 35%, get a load of this, 35% of married men have had a sexual extramarital affair while married. Can you comprehend that over 1/3 of the men in your church are having sexual affairs? That's not emotional affairs. They admitted that they had sexual affair. So if I just came here and said, shame on the church, then shame on me. No, but the problem's in the church, so it's time to do something about it. It's time for the church to say, we will rise up and we will provide a safe place, a place of healing, okay? And what Proven Men Ministries wants to do is step alongside of you. Okay, we want to equip you. We're not pointing fingers at you. We're saying, we get it. There's a problem there. Okay, so let's start with this. Why am I even here today? He's like, so why are you here? I'm here because I was one of those statistics. I don't know why anyone would want to do the math, but I've done the math of how many sexual fantasies have I had run through my mind, and it exceeded 1 million because I was given over to lust and fantasy. Okay, and I kept convincing myself, okay, as long as I don't have an affair, nobody gets hurt, right? Well, 7 years into my marriage, I actually asked one of my wife's friends from church to go to bed with me, okay? So it didn't just stop there, and even if it had 1 million sexual fantasies, you can imagine what kind of relationship, a closed and ineffective relationship I really had, okay? But I was actually serving in the church, on the board of trustees, doing Bible studies, all the time leading this double agent secret life, okay? So I get what it's like to be in the church, and I get what it's like to have the white elephant and be the white elephant. The good news, I went to a pastor who didn't throw me out. He says, wow, I think you're a sex addict. I said, I don't care what you call it, I need help. And so he mentored me. Then I went and told my wife, and she said, it's a we problem, not a he problem. So the good news is I had a wife who says, yeah, okay, as long as we're going to do business with this and root it out, okay. So the good news is I'm still married, happily married, and I gave up pornography, 17 years ago, okay. 3 years after 3 years after I started getting healing, okay, from not looking at pornography. And it was a tough battle, folks. I mean, I stopped watching TV for an entire year, changed, habits and routines, and, became real, open and honest. I had accountability in my life and network partners, okay? And so I was experiencing this victory. 3 years later, God put a calling on my heart and said, I didn't do this just for you. I did this because I'm weeping for the men in the church that are just like you. Because I had made a vow to myself that I would never tell another human being that I masturbated. It was that embarrassing. And now God says, you're going to go tell the whole world. You're going to go tell the whole world that you're addicted to masturbation and pornography and lust and every form of deviance. Okay? Okay? Because why? Because there's freedom in being open and honest. Okay? So the good news is now my whole life story, just like King David's is in the Bible, well, mine's in the Proven Men book. So my whole story's out there. Why? Because of the freedom and victory that I have, and God has placed in my heart the proven model, the proven path for sexual integrity, and a system in place that I'm bringing to the church with the goal of reaching 1 million men that will become, a bastion of sexual integrity. And that's, we're going to get off the bench and we're going to get into service. So I want to equip the people within your pews so they're not sitting on the bench anymore. They're not disqualified from serving because of this secret sin. Okay, so that's what it is. So my passion is for the church. My passion is for the man in the church who is just like me, afraid, but not knowing where he could turn, not knowing that there was help, that there's a place of safety, people wouldn't judge. People like you that have invited me here that will step alongside the people in your church. So I want to equip you today.